Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Haley Wilkes. Thank you for joining us. Hurricane Matthew now with its sights set on the U.S. and the east coast of Florida.
Let's get the latest now on the storm from Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Yeah, it is a devastating storm to the northwest Bahamas right now. They're getting slammed with 140-mile-an-hour winds and 160-mile-an-hour gusts. They're getting right at Freeport in Grand Bahama. That's the northernmost island that you see right there. Very well attended as far as vacation island goes, and it looks as though they're taking the brunt of the eye wall, if you will. You can see this is the eye wall. This is where the strongest winds are. It has weakened just over the last half hour with the radar report, but notice what's happening on the last few frames here. You see it moving in this direction, and then look, it looks like it's heading west. Now, this could just be a wobble, but it really has a tendency to look like it's moving west right now as it was heading due north almost right into Freeport. So this could be just temporary. We're hoping that is the case, or folks in Palm Beach may see a little bit more of this storm. They are certainly going to get hurricane force winds there with these bands as they move on through. They had reported winds up to 97 sustained mile-an-hour winds already reported earlier today in some of the islands there in the Bahamas, and specifically down south near Andros Island. There's the hurricane warning that hasn't changed much from Miami all the way to Jacksonville and through Georgia and the Carolinas. We've already had one band of showers move through. This brought wind gusts up to 40 to 45 miles an hour. Another band is actually developing right now, and this too will bring those tropical storm force wind gusts our way in the next hour or two in the Manatee and Sarasota counties. Right now it's over Wauchula and heading into Arcadia. Then more of these will start to develop, I think, through the overnight hours, and that's going to be tough going because they'll move through. There'll be a little break, and then more showers and storms expected to move through. These were the shear totals as this was moving through. Now, this is in the upper part of the, or at least the base of the thunderstorm as it moves through, so not nearly as strong as the 60, but it did translate down to 40 miles an hour, so 20 mile an hour less than the shear that we had. We had some strong winds reported right there into Bradenton as well. The visible satellite imagery is showing still a very healthy looking center, although it's ragged on the northwest edge. That's a good sign, although the pressure has been falling as of late. When a pressure falls, the wind usually takes a few hours to catch up to that pressure fall, and it's down to 938 millibars, which is an extremely low pressure. That's the strongest you usually get with 4s, and then it turns over to 5s usually after that. So we'll see if that happens. Top winds now at 140. They have to get to 156 for it to be a Category 5, but it looks like it will be a 4, making landfall sometime after 2 a.m. Again, it could be on this line, too. It may shift a little bit as we're seeing right now, so we'll keep an eye on that. If it does shift west, that's going to make a difference for us here along the west coast of Florida. Obviously, we would probably be put into a tropical storm warning at that point for Manatee and Sarasota counties, but that remains to be seen at this point. So we'll keep you up to date. Look for possibility of some tropical storm force winds, but generally tomorrow, northwest 20 to 25 in Sarasota and Manatee counties, a little higher in Hardee and Highlands County, and the feeder bands will bring gusts up to 50 miles an hour throughout Friday. More on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you guys.
All right, Bob, thank you. As Matthew heads for the U.S., we're learning more about the death and destruction it has already caused. At least 113 people have been killed in 3 Caribbean countries, the majority of those in Haiti, as authorities there work to gauge the extent of the damage. Humanitarian aid is now pouring into the country. A UN official calls Matthew the largest humanitarian event in Haiti since the 2010 earthquake there.
Per the request of Governor Rick Scott, President Obama has signed an emergency order for Florida. The order authorizes FEMA to coordinate the relief to help lessen the threat in counties expected to be affected the most. Also, Governor Scott has activated 3,500 members of the National Guard. A group was deployed from the Armory in Sarasota today to areas affected by Matthew. 2 million people are in the storm's path. They're being told to get out of the way, the largest mandatory evacuation since Superstorm Sandy. Scott is not holding back with his warning to residents, particularly on the East Coast.
Stop and think about it. We should not be putting people's lives at risk because you made the foolish decision not to evacuate.
If they haven't left already, coastal residents are preparing for the storm, leaving shelves bare at grocery stores and waiting in long lines for gas. Coastal counties in Georgia are also being evacuated today. And in South Carolina, Governor Nikki Haley says 250,000 people have gone inland so far.
Manatee County issuing a local state of emergency today. The area is only under a tropical storm watch, as Bob told you. No mandatory evacuation orders are being issued, but all Manatee County schools will be closed tomorrow. Extracurricular activities and sporting events are canceled tonight and tomorrow as well. That includes all the football games. And emergency management officials are urging mobile home residents to seek shelter. 5 public shelters are now open. The ones in Manatee High School and Virgil Mills Elementary are pet friendly. Myakka Elementary on Manatee Avenue also open. And the county has also opened Braden River High School as a shelter for East Coast evacuees. That's also pet friendly. And the shelter Nolan Middle School in Bradenton is for those with special needs. In Sarasota County, public schools will be open tomorrow, but extracurricular activities and athletic events like those football games are canceled as well across the entire district, aside from after-school care. Now, we're just getting word that Sarasota County has also issued a local state of emergency just for the purpose of opening an evacuation shelter. That will be at the Englewood Sports Complex, and it's for East Coast evacuees only. Hotels in Sarasota are also filling up as evacuees are directed here to the Suncoast.
ABC 7's Adam Cellini begins our live team coverage from downtown Sarasota with more. Adam.
Scott and Haley, good evening. Places like the Aloft Hotel here on Ringling Boulevard in downtown Sarasota are booked for the next couple of days as the West Coast continues to fill up. Several evacuees trying to extend their reservations, and they're being denied because of the backlog of booking requests rather, that are coming into these hotels. Now, we spoke with Visit Sarasota County offices earlier today, and they say that the hotels in Fort Myers are now diverting evacuees to our local listings. There have been complaints of price gouging in those cities down south of us, but law enforcement in Sarasota says no such thing has yet been reported here in our area. One North Miami couple told us that they negotiated to extend their stay from Friday through the weekend at the Aloft Hotel when they booked their reservation on Tuesday, just in case the weather turned. But now their room has been booked to somebody else before they can confirm that switch, and now they're staying with a friend in town.
Somebody we know is going to open their house to us. Otherwise, there's no way we'd had a place. We would be in our car.
You know, it's an emergency, it's a hurricane, people have to evacuate. So what are the hotels doing? Everybody's taking advantage of everybody.
Yeah.
Now, rates at the Aloft Hotel are going up from $130 in that area to around $200, but they say that's normal for the weekend. Price gouging during a state of emergency is illegal in the state of Florida. If you feel you're being taken advantage of, the state attorney's office has a hotline. We'll have that hotline information on our website, mysuncoast.com, if you would like to get access to it. For now, live in downtown Sarasota, I'm Adam Cellini. Scott and Haley, back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you so much. Well, Suncoast residents themselves also making sure they're prepared and ready for whatever conditions we experience.
Straight ahead, how quickly items are flying off the shelves locally and whether we can expect any gas shortages.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Replacing your windows will not just beautify your home, but save you big bucks on your energy bills. I've done the research. I've seen the factory. New South Window is my hands-down choice.
New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
we can provide the right care right at home.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
I'm Alan Cohn. Federal funding to fight heroin. Congressman Vern Buchanan has been advocating for assistance, but how would it impact our area?
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
Even though Hurricane Matthew is targeting the east coast of the state, that hasn't stopped Suncoast residents from making sure they're prepared as well.
ABC 7's Bobeth Yates continues our live team coverage with more on how quickly people are stocking up on gas, food, and supplies. Bobeth.
Yes, I'm at the Sunoco gas station where it's a little bit quiet now, but earlier today, this place was a-buzzing. People were here getting gas for their cars, their generators, anything literally that needed gas, and they did not stop there.
Got a new AC filter, got plenty of water, batteries, all that kind of stuff.
David Bailey is among those taking the saying, better safe than sorry, to heart.
Get sandbags and all that good stuff and everything, get ready for the storm.
Bailey says it doesn't matter what track the storm takes because he will be prepared. And he's not the only one getting ready because some local stores are having trouble keeping the supplies on the shelf.
We ran out of a few things. We have supply trucks. We have an emergency truck in here tonight. And then we have trucks sitting all around the state ready to hit after the hurricane.
And that urge to be prepared extends beyond supplies to include gas.
There are people who are heeding the warnings and they're topping off their tanks just out of an abundance of caution.
But unlike the East Coast, AAA officials say the increased demand for gas on the Suncoast is not expected to create any shortages.
West Coast, we're in pretty good shape for gasoline shipments because the bulk of Sarasota gasoline comes from either the Tampa port or the Fort Myers port.
Jenkins says the fact that the storm is on the East Coast means no shipments will be interrupted. But he says that doesn't mean residents on the Suncoast are out of the woods just yet.
Gas stations lose their electricity and they don't have a backup generator. That's it. They can't pump gasoline for you. So even if a station does have plenty of fuel, if they don't have electricity, then they're not able to pump the gasoline.
Now, again, officials say it's better to be safe than sorry, so they're asking people who haven't done it yet to take precautions. Back to you.
Thank you, Bobeth.
All right, Bob's going to have all the details and more on Hurricane Matthew right after this.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. We hit the BMX track for stunts and surprises, plus Daredevil Bello Knock in the studio and Curry Station in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Well, Bob, some areas looking like Miami and that area kind of skirted past them, but others getting ready.
Yeah, so far so good for Miami
Yeah.
and the Keys, not too bad. And it looks like even Fort Lauderdale, it could have been a lot worse there. We're still watching, and you know it's going to come back around maybe too, but it's going to be a weaker storm. One thing to know, this is a history maker. Obviously, we talked about the fact that it's the strongest storm ever we've had in the Atlantic Basin so far south. It was at one point a Category 5, below 13 degrees north latitude. That was the strongest ever. And now it's the only Category 5, or major hurricane, I should say, to hit 3 places, Cuba, Haiti, and the Bahamas. So no storm has ever done that.
Wow.
Had major impacts from one storm. And now Florida, so add another country to that possibly this evening. Unbelievable storm it is, and it has really caused lots of concern along the east coast of Florida, specifically from West Palm Beach northward now. We've had our first feeder band, you would say, move on through. It brought winds up to 40 miles an hour, and that one is through now. It had caused a tree to fall down near US 41 near Port Charlotte, 1 mile northwest of Port Charlotte. And also, look at this, pretty significant line of storms moving through Orlando, getting set to move on into Hillsborough County. And the storm center itself is right over Freeport, but we talked about this at the beginning of the newscast. You'll notice a little jog to the left in the last few frames. This may just be a little bit of a wobble. Sometimes these big storms like this kind of wobble around the secondary eye wall that may be forming. So this may be going through some sort of transition right now, but it really is quite noticeable on the radar loop over the past hour. This motion was off to the north, and then just the last few frames there, it starts to head off more toward the west. So we still have to keep a very close watch on it. If it does get more of a westerly component to it, that means those tropical storm force winds will get closer to Hardee and Highlands County, as well as possibly even the west coast of Florida. Right now, we don't expect to see any kind of sustained wind at tropical storm force in Sarasota, Manatee, or Charlotte counties, or even DeSoto counties at this time. But Freeport has had their fair share of some very intense winds, and you can see again, that's where the center is. For us, things are fairly quiet. There's where that tree was knocked down by the brief wind that moved on through, and also wind gusts at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport up to 40 miles an hour. Also, right there near Lido, a wind gust up to 40 miles an hour. This line is not all that intense right now. It could gain a little strength as it moves off toward the southwest, but for the time being, things are looking fairly calm here. Tropical Storm Watch, we'll go over that real quickly again for all the coastal counties, all the way down to Fort Myers, and then a tropical storm warning in effect for inland counties. And then this is all a hurricane warning stretching all the way down to just north of Miami. And it looks like Cape Canaveral north will get the full brunt of the storm if it continues on its current path off to the northwest, although places to the south cannot let their guard down. Right now it's 81 degrees. Some clouds are out there. And as far as the high goes today, 89 above average. We'll see 87-degree temperature tomorrow, 95 the record. A couple of things going on. We have another hurricane out here, if you didn't know it, but it's not having an impact on any land right now. This is Nicole, and quite a bit of dry air around it. It should be just kind of sitting out there, and will sit out there for the next 5 days. This dry air will eventually work into our area on Saturday once we see Matthew head off toward the north and northeast. The radar, actually the enhanced satellite imagery is showing a very intense storm now moving right through Freeport and the Grand Bahama Island, and then the forecast path and track take it off toward the northwest. There's Orlando. It could be there if it moves on more of a westerly course, and the strong winds up to 120 to 125 miles an hour near Daytona Beach if it stays right there along the Gulf Stream where the water temperatures are extremely warm there, and that would just give it more energy and cause it to be more of a destructive force as we move through time on Friday. And get a look at this. We talked about it a few days ago. It's doing a loop-to-loop. We'll be back into that hurricane cone. I've never seen this where the cone actually does a loop and comes back, and we're in the cone again for the possibility of a tropical storm. Now, it's not this is what it would be, a tropical storm with winds at 45 miles an hour in 5 days from now. That's what it's projecting right now if it were to come back. So a very unusual looking cone. It's more of a circle, if you will. The forecast wind gusts. Now, these are gusts occasionally will come through as these feeder bands work their way through on Friday. We're talking 30 to 40 to possibly 50 mile an hour gusts at times, but generally winds will be out of the northwest at 20 to 25 miles an hour, possibly as high as 30 to 40 into Hardee and into Highlands County. By Friday night late, the winds will start to subside. It'll still be a bit breezy, I would suspect, on through Saturday, but not as much on Sunday. And again, the hurricane force winds just moving right up and down the coast of East Florida and then eventually tracking off toward the Carolinas. Here's the forecast then. Boating obviously out of the question tomorrow and even on Saturday as the winds and seas will still be up. I'll look for 70% chance for showers and storms. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, the wind gusts as high as 40 to 50 with some of the feeder bands, and then a much better weekend. And then we'll be watching the tropics again for what could be a return of Matthew. Back to you.
Saying so.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob. More on Hurricane Matthew still to come.
We'll head out live to Jacksonville to see the preparations underway there.
Getting older shouldn't mean giving up all the things she loves to do. It should just mean, well, finding new ways to do them. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to provide help with personal care, housekeeping, and of course, meal preparation.
Oh, that smells so good.
Oh, and it tastes good too.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
And for a limited time, Minnesota Flooring is offering you unbelievable pricing on tile and laminate. Porcelain tile only $1.59. Ceramic tile 99 cents. And 16 by 16 tile $1.19. Laminate flooring is only 99 cents. But these prices won't last. Don't miss out on these great deals. Hurry into Minnesota Flooring today.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2016 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month, complimentary maintenance included. At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
As we've been saying, the east coast of Florida most concerned with Matthew's path right now.
Millions of residents evacuating along the eastern seaboard. For more on that, reporter Diane Gallagher joins us live from Jacksonville. And Diane, how have evacuation efforts gone there in Jacksonville so far? Those people there have not seen a storm like this for quite some time.
Yeah, Scott, 118 years it's been, so nobody has any living memory of the last storm of this type to hit the Jacksonville area. And I can tell you that I actually arrived in town. We were driving down in the opposite of traffic, the people evacuating coming up here. Coming into my hotel, we were initially refused checking in because they are trying to evacuate everyone. This area I'm in right now is a mandatory evacuation. We had to verbally consent that we knew that we were putting our life at risk being here in order for them to allow us to stay. They've been trying to get people out of the hotel as we are speaking right now, getting them into shelters further inland in this area. And I can tell you that the roads, I-95 heading north, you saw all of the exits of people trying to get off. They were backed up for miles attempting to get out of here. The governor was talking about the fact that people were waiting too long to evacuate in these areas. And we really did see examples of that, of people essentially, again, backed up for miles on the road here, not able to get out of town. We were trying to get some last-minute supplies. Walmart here barricaded up. They had all sorts of the different crates in front of the doors there. They had the plywood in the windows. Different restaurants doing the exact same thing as we were leaving. Gas stations shutting down to prepare for the initial brunt of this storm, and then hopefully able to open later, because there are a lot of people who are going to need some fuel once this is over.
And Diane, what about some cancellations for this weekend, like games or other events that were scheduled to happen?
Yeah, and so some of those they've been waiting until the last minute just to see. Many people crossing their fingers to find out if it was going to make a last-minute turn to the east. At this point, the game that most people were looking at was that Florida LSU game, and they were saying that it has now been postponed. They made that call today, postponing that game instead of playing in Gainesville as they're supposed to on Friday. South Carolina playing Georgia as well. They are still holding out at this point, we know, waiting to see. The sheriff has indicated in that county to the SEC that it is a little difficult for them to provide the security that is needed for game day while they have these hundreds of thousands of evacuees who are there in that area. And so it's something that we're likely going to see some sort of movement on that within the next few moments, hours here today as they prepare for the storm coming up in that area.
All right, Diane, thank you so much for that information and for joining us live tonight in Jacksonville.
Yeah, hope she and her crew stay safe there in Jacksonville, and we're just going to watch it tonight and see what the path of this storm.
Yeah, it's a historic storm. We'll keep a watch on it. We'll break in when needed.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you tonight at 11.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today for deals worth celebrating during the Jeep Celebration event. Come shop the area's largest selection of Jeep Wranglers or check out a new Jeep Cherokee priced as low as $19,999. Stop by to see the stylish new Jeep Renegade starting at just $17,699. Or drive away in a new Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local Pitmasters since '68.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.